back in Bongo. Back, back, back in Bongo.
More.
Back in back in Bongo. Bongo.
Exactly. I'll just put a lot of it at the start.
Back in back in Bongo. Bongo. Back in back in Bongo.
It's the theme song.
But as you can see, I'm recording. Cold opening today. We're back in Turn Peaks for Marilyn's journey. And you, my biological brother, are Marilyn.
Oh.
And action.
As I sit in my cosy, dimly lit apartment in Turn Peaks, a soft golden light filters through my curtains, casting gentle patterns on the walls. I'm perched on a well-worn armchair, my gaze fixed out of the window at the small, quaint town below. The room is adorned with photographs of my family and the voles who have been my constant companions. The voles, they were always there for me. I'm living too long.
Flashback. Iowa Bean Farm 1.0. Marilyn is hard at work in Iowa Bean Farm, sweat glistening on her brow. The farmer, James, approaches. Marilyn, you've been working like a mule. You need a break.
I appreciate your concern, James, but there's something about his hard work that makes me feel alive, Marilyn.
Flashback. Interior meeting room 1.3. Marilyn is seated at a table with 7 PA voles. They are holding a miniature board meeting, complete with tiny notepads.
All right, folks. We need to discuss our financial projections for the next quarter. Let's hear your thoughts.
Squeak. I think we should invest in acorns, Squeak. They're on the rise.
Excellent suggestion. Anyone else? Any vole else?
Flashback. Exterior Hawaiian Beach 1.4. Marilyn lounges on a Hawaiian beach chair enjoying her tropical drink. Nearby Hawaiian tourist approaches. Hey there, you look like you're having a blast. What's your secret?
Smile. It's simple. Embrace the moment. Appreciate the beauty around you and let go of your worries.
Flashback. Interior Springfield Cafe 1.5. Marilyn sits at a corner table sipping her coffee. Frank Goodman, a friendly-looking man, walks over. Do you mind if I join you?
Oh, not at all. Please have a seat.
Well, I couldn't help but notice you seem like someone who's seen the world. What's your story?
Oh, it's quite a story, involving voles, adventures, and a whole lot of soul-searching. Not a lot of comedy, though. I return to the present.
My apartment, continuous.
I return to the present, a soft smile plays on my lips as I continue to reminisce. That's a nice phrase. Sometimes life takes you on the most unexpected journeys, all because of the voles. Garrett, Conrad, if you don't do this washing up today, I'm going to smack you square in the face.
Maude, it's a anti-comedy cast. Springfield's realm, a strange delight. Maude Flanders was a beacon of light, immaculate birth, a guiding star with tuppence she travelled so far, with Edinburgh's twists and Janish's scheme, an island secret during a during dream, Elf Tonks, a survivor from the sea. Maude's journey was wild and free, with the Las Vegas nights and secrets they kept. Shh. She married the blue-haired lawyer and wept. Rod and Todd, their family grew. In Springfield's chaos, Maude stayed true. In 2001, a sporting event, her life did rend. Maude Flanders in memory's embrace. A unique journey in a peculiar place. It's the Maude Flanders Internet Database and Podcast Hot Cake Roller Coaster, Roller Coaster, Roller Coaster. Well, episode 1 billion. Who would have thought it? Triple figures. Ding dong.
Triple figures, trip figs.
TF.
This is also our 9th Bongo cast and our penultimate Bongo cast.
Penultimate Bongo cast, eh?
BBC.
But enough about that. Ding dong.
Someone's at the door. Not those two, though. They've already been. They're working.
Ted. Have you seen Paul the Sinnerman Skinner around at all?
No, no, but I heard he was planning to come by the museum today. Why?
Hmm. I'm just scanning this exhibit of religious artifacts and artwork. Well, with this exhibit on display, I'm afraid Paul's going to come in and start preaching about sin and repentance again.
Oh no, not again, even though that would sort of be in line with the museum's theme. We need to keep a way to keep him occupied.
Oh my God, he's on his way
Yeah,
here,
it's him.
carrying a Bible. Greetings, brothers. I feel the call of the Lord has come and visit this museum of worldly temptations. Welcome, Paul. We're glad you're here.
Hey, Paul, have you heard about our special exhibit that's on display? It's about repentance and redemption, not the other stuff.
Oh, really? That sounds like just what I need.
It is. It is exactly what you need. Come on. Here's a path to
Yes, this
redemption.
is exactly what I need. Thank you, brothers.
Push him in.
Brothers.
Push him in, shut the door.
Phew, that was close. I don't know how much longer I could have listened to his preaching.
I know, right? He barely said a word, but at least we found a way to keep him occupied.
Oh, over there we see him in front of that crucifix, which is polystyrene, don't tell him. But the spirit of Maud Flanders is living on through his unexpected and humorous experiences that can only be found right here in Worsley Mains.
Exactly. A powerhouse of an episode.
Sponsors! In shadows deep where secrets hide, Tony, Ian, Maxton Graham with Gary side by side. They dwell in the bushes, vigilant and clean, unveiling truths few have seen. Ancient connections, societies concealed. This entire episode is just songs.
I've done anything that isn't chatbot yet. I haven't said anything myself at all.
The mystery is revealed. Promises of wisdom divine and vast. They chase the secrets of a distant past. Lungfu Academy next to Neto Store. Jitsu to Jiu-Jitsu, knowledge to explore. From junior to senior, they rise and strive. In a quest for wisdom, they come alive. In notebooks filled with enigmatic lore, Tony and Gary seeking even more. In this world of secrets, they endlessly roam in search of truths to make their home. So in the bushes, they'll forever dwell. The quest for knowledge, a never-ending swell. In a world of mysteries, were there known, Tony and Gary, secrets they'll condone.
Secrets they'll condone. Sponsor, meat. What did the bacon say to the tomato?
Yum, yum.
Let us meet up for a sandwich sometime.
Oh, that's good.
That is good. That's the best one so far. Why did the butcher go to therapy?
Because he couldn't meet.
He watched his family die in a fire. That's not the answer. It's just because he had too many chop issues to handle. It doesn't make sense.
Sponsor, Slush Puppy, a frozen delight in a cup. On scorching days, it's a sweet pick-me-up. Non-carbonated, so don't worry. A chilly, tasty retreat. In the summer's heat, it's a welcome feat. Hush Puppy, the soft shoe. In woods it thrives, born from hunters' and fishermen's lives. They fried cornmeal meal, a savory side, and stories round the campfire they would confide. In the wilderness, where secrets abide, they'd whip up these treats, side by side. Slush Puppy and Hush Puppy with tales from the past, simple pleasures and memories that forever will last. So when you savor a Slush Puppy's cool bliss, or witness Hush Puppies on the dance floor's twist, remember the origins where both legends began, in the hearts of hunters and the frying pan.
Precisely. As relevant as it was yesterday as it is today. Misty Knight, skilled detective and martial artist known for her bionic arm. Why? What do you call it when Misty Knight gives a high five?
Super high five?
An amazing greeting. The end.
And
now it's time for sponsor race.
Category is Bongalicious. Give us your best comic book creations. This time, I, Groggly Poncho, will do the narrating. Wish me Luke. Lastly, oh darn, it's Whale So On, the owner of Texaco. Next, it's Mary Lude, a dead Irish horse. Then it's Vincent Vaughn from the Zoolander. After him, it's a woman from Dorset. Following that, a space dog who sells jalapenos. What is going on here? Does this have anything to do with Maude Flanders? It's the Shinigami Sama. And firstly, Oich Lord, I've gone and done it again. It's a good job 120 for girl isn't here to roll her eyes at me and be a general beach. Look, the last one's here now for this bit. It's Kieran O'Reilly. I am Groggly Poncho. Category is Go Funko Yourself, and we have a special guest narrator. All the way from Honolulu, Hawaii apparently. It's Nicole Kidman.
Whale Sa Wan. Mary Nude. Republican actor Vince Vaughn, the Devon Maid. Rex Woofington. Beth. Nathan Zaz O'Leary.
Thanks, Nicole. I'll take it from here. This week's recap is as follows. This week in the Rumpus Room, Death is saying that Rex Woofington affected Death's performance. But the Devon Maid defends Rex Woofington. Nathan Zaz O'Leary and Whale Saw are sharing wigs. Vince Vaughn and Mary Lou are throwing shade at the Devon Maid's makeup skills. And for this week's challenge, it all comes down to the runway presentations, and this decision can change the trajectory of everything. Brendan, could you please step forward? Brendan, here are the 7 contestants' runway presentations once again. It is up to you to now choose the holiest roller of the week and the wettest blankets. Then you and Nathan must decide which of the wettest blankets to eliminate. You may begin deliberating. I will sit here and be groggily.
Yeah, so now you get to pick who won.
Brilliant. I'm gonna choose. I thought the Rex Woffington costumes were excellent this week, both of them.
Yes. Who are the worst two?
Who is the wettest of all blankets? It's all good, but I'm going to go for Whale and the Devon Maid because their costumes aren't particularly knocking it out of the park, if you know what I mean.
I agree. Particularly, I think Whale did particularly bad this week because he's hard to describe to a chatbot.
Hard to describe to a chatbot. Story of my life.
I think the Devon Maid has more to offer than Whale Sawan, so I think we should boot out Whale Sawan.
Well, Sawan, goodbye. You are the weakest link.
Exactly.
Don't let the sachet hit you on the way out.
Precisely.
If you can't love yourself, who the heck is even going to love you?
May I request that? Amen.
Give me a number between 1 and 326.
119.
Done.
Oh, we've done it.
Yeah.
219.
Just wash your hands and get out. Not standing for nonsense.
Aye. I agree. That was our first example of her not standing for nonsense, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but even a recent one of the of her just coming down hard on Marge for raising her brat Simpson.
Yeah, it's relevant to the Maude we are still seeing today, which is nice. That is a phrase that she said. Oh no, she didn't stand for nonsense within the family before that with Todd's
broccoli abuse.
Vegetable. Yeah, but there was times prior to that there was nonsense that she stood for, such as when
Wendell.
Yes, Wendell. Homer and Bart sat in the garden wearing all of Ned and Maud's clothes and owning their possessions and laughing at them is nonsense that she stood for prior to telling Marge to get out. Maybe she's got an issue with women.
Oof.
Maybe she just doesn't mind shouting at women, but she seems to not enjoy shouting at men.
Well, why could that be?
Just society.
Really? Tell me more.
I don't like. I'm going off script, going off chatbot script. Maybe it's too controversial, but it's not.
No, it's exactly what we'd expect.
Exactly. Yeah. Maude. We've never seen Maude flip out and shout in like Homer's face. Still.
Didn't she say she wanted him to die in one of the early episodes?
No.
I hope you choke on that bone, she said.
Oh yes, in her head, in her diary.
Same thing.
Yeah, no, I'd think that she'll stand for nonsense that she can not really not stand for, as in like big town nonsense. She's a pick your battles kind of Maude. She did shout at Ned that time in the bed, actually. She said, if you don't unplug the phone, you're sleeping on the lawn.
Right.
Maybe she was just genuinely scared of Homer. Maybe she's scared of what would happen if she shouted at Homer. She thinks that he's just gonna, like, immediately get into her like deepest insecurities and bring them out in front of a crowd or something, or just give her a, straight to the moon. one of these days, Maud Flanders.
I don't think so. I don't think she's
No.
scared at all of Homer Simpson. I don't think she gives a shite about what he does.
Maybe that's what it is then. But even when it affects, maybe she's just very like peace in her mind with it. Then when he does stuff like that, where it's like, well, me saying anything isn't going to get through to him. If he's sat in the living room, the grass version, the lawn,
Yeah.
just in a t-shirt that says like Maud loves Nell, I believe it said. That isn't a battle that she chooses to get into. Maybe it just doesn't upset her. She's just like, well, I know this guy.
I know
what
this
guy's
guy.
about.
It's exactly what she's thinking. I'm sick to my back teeth of this guy, but he ain't going to change. Let me just keep out of his way, and maybe if I can just have a quiet life, selling my Bible rugs, making my wind chimes.
Yeah, maybe she thinks Marge is salvageable, so that's why she says the get out thing to her. Maybe she thinks that, there's something that she can still do for Marge, whereas Homer, what's the point?
What is
What's
the
the point in
point?
even saying anything?
What's the
Also,
point of even believing anything about this man? He
exactly.
murdered me. Can we get some content?
Why not?
Non-chatbot written content. You want to give the good people some context for this content?
I'm unsure what to say. Now I am unchatbotted. No, yeah, it's the last dregs of Bongo. I've saved some good ones, to be honest. I delayed some.
LGB.
Yes, I saved some of the better bongos. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I saved some of the
Better bong. Better bong. Save the better bongos.
Also, a few of these I came across later on.
Where's a one? Where's a one? Where's a one in bongo?
He was in trouble the other day, according to
Where's a one
Google.
in trouble?
Google tells me what Wales to One's up to now.
See, Will Sawan, man,
Maybe
he's same age as me. Will Sawan,
maybe it was clickbait.
He's done well for himself. Shell's
He's
Will
done-
Sawan plans employee meeting to discuss clean energy strategy.
That's a cold open I can't wait to get to. I wonder what Fu Chengi thinks of Wales One's strategies. Anyway, yeah, it's The Simpsons, Maud Flanders. Some of the sort of one-page bongos that were like presented in they do like compilation like books, don't they? And then sometimes they'll throw in like extra images. I think some of them came from these, possibly.
Quick one is a picture of the Flanders family sing inspiring hymns of hellfire and damnation. So this is I guess it's a record, isn't it? It's a zoom in on a record. Because the next one we have the Simpsons sing Richard Wagner's something, but this is all four of the Flanders and a too far covered Todd.
Yes.
They've all got halos and they're all smiling sweetly. And Maud, if you don't very much mind me saying so, is smiling the sweetest of all.
I do not mind. Yeah, I like this. This has just come from a page of, I'm assuming, different characters with album covers that
Page of
relate
toilet
to their
paper.
yes, their Flanderizations, their individual Flanderizations have been put into album form. I assumed, like Mo sings the blues because he's sad, or like Millhouse is best of the Venga Boys. Image wise, it's very good. I would like to see the bottom of it because we're missing a Todd face, and we're missing what looks like another different Maud outfit. It looks like she's wearing Margie's clothes. Well, she's got a white pearl necklace, and then she's, to me, evidently wearing a green dress.
Just a hint. Unless, of course, Ned's got his hand on her shoulder and we're just seeing his cuff.
Oh, that would make sense too. However, there's something off with the colours as well here, isn't there? Like
There
Ned
isn't
and Rod's
no eyeshadow either. The colours are off, and it's all a bit Bongo, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like this early. I wonder if it's something to do with the actual colour of Rod's hair. Because early Rod Bongo seems to always have this brown hair, and it's different. It's not
so irritating.
Yes, it's not the Rod we know.
Nope, it's not. Clip 2.
We got lucky they didn't do that with Maude. For all we know, we could have been looking at a blue-haired Maude lawyer.
Well, you know what? I would not have minded that even one bit.
No. What about Hellfire and Damnation? That seems a bit.
It's rubbish. I'm not spending any more time on that. This is garbage. Bongo at its very worst.
It's in the bag now. We never have to see it again.
Oh, can you even see my screen?
No, I can't. I couldn't until you asked me that question.
Back in Bongo. Back
It's a
in
busy
Bongo.
desktop. Yeah, it's not the best. Not the best we've looked at.
No, it's the worst. But let's have a look here at this next one. So Bart's Halloween Survival Kit. So this is a double-page splash spread that looks far, far better than the one we've just seen before. Maude only appears in this bottom left-hand corner, so we'll skim over the others, but because at some point I have no doubt we'll get to it in the our cousins, our friends, our neighbours in the Bongo cast.
Yes.
So what can the people see here, Zaz?
It's Bart's like Halloween box with just sort of images of him using the box stuff around town with different people, and we were lucky enough to be treated to a Maude with one of those, which is odd because she's almost certainly dead by the time this has been done. Like, even the way it's drawn looks like
season 16.
Sort of, yeah, like not early Bongo. And these came in like I think I've got this book somewhere, but they did like the Treehouse of Horror, like compendium sort of things where they would add some fun like movie poster pictures and like stuff like this to pad out the pages in between the comics. So sort of new content, but not a Bongo comic.
Right.
He is just, he's just going around winding up people around town, isn't he? And
he
says,
and so the suitcase itself looks delightful, though. It's got some shaving foam, an eye patch, and a fake wooden leg, a box of what I can only imagine to be fake donuts, and an entire skeleton, little gases, smoke bombs, some eggs. This is a person well prepared for mischief.
Yeah, this sort of looks like when he goes to the movementarium, he's got that it's called like little bastard trouble causing kit or something like that. And it kind of looks like we're seeing the inside of a version of that. Like they've taken that idea, Halloweened it, and ran with it.
Yes.
I like that the lid of the box contains images, though.
Well, it's a great Bongo image, and I really like. We won't go through them all, but I like the fact that he's left his skeleton at the table, and Grandpa doesn't even notice that one of his grandchildren is turned into a skeleton.
Yeah,
the girl's dead. Is there any bridge mix left?
Exactly. That's a great.
Mix. But if we focus down on number 3, which is where Bart's interacting with Maude Flanders from The Simpsons, he says, when it comes to take their names, etc. When it comes to making the big candy, when it comes to making the big candy haul, a costume is only as good as the tear-jerking story that comes with it. And so he's taking advantage of Maude's goodness and her next door neighbor, a child
she recognizes.
He says, seeing as I have only one eye and a one leg, it was the only costume I could wear. And Maude, losing all semblance of reality, gives him as much as he wants and says, you poor thing, take it all.
Do you know what I see here?
I see a man taking advantage of a mentally incapacitated lady.
I see a lady who sees right through this but doesn't like the boy's mother.
You know what I see? I see a little silhouette of a man.
Professor Darren Scaramouche.
Yes, I will.
No, I don't do the Fandango. Yeah,
I think she's this earlier, and I said no.
I think she's yes-anding him. I think she knows what he's doing, but she doesn't want to. Like, she's like, okay, we're going to do this. Okay, you have all of this candy, and you're going to be an absolute monster. But bear in mind, like, we're saying that it's probably not candy. If we know anything about Maude Flanders and Halloween-themed candy, I imagine she's not giving out, Sour Patch Kids. I imagine it's just regular Patch Kids, apples and toothbrushes.
I think she's probably given some plain, unseasonal fruit, just a regular apple or orange, maybe some loose change, a toothbrush or dental floss, maybe a brochure for some promotional materials for maybe a transportation company, and stale generic crackers, although she wouldn't give stale ones.
I like biscuits.
Empty candy wrappers, single unsalted nuts, no doubt the ones at the bottom, and non-Halloween themed school supplies like plain pencils, erasers, or notebooks.
Yes, I like all of those. I did name 2 of them before we turned to chatbot for help, but I do like the idea of her handing out a single unsalted nut to every child in town.
With some bread on the
no,
side for dipping.
I like that she got into that. I don't know how she got into that. I'll have to check the dates and stuff. But it's weird that they just went for the next door neighbour and not a stranger that he could actually get away with, lying to. Do you know, like Bernice Hibbert, like a Springfield woman who doesn't live next door to him. So we've only ruled out Maude and Ruth Powers and Marge, I guess. There he is in Mr. T-Face.
See you later, prune face, he says to the old woman.
Yes. See, she makes more.
Mrs.
Glick.
Giggly.
It's a candy dish, $90. Can you put other things in it? No, Ned, just candy, $90. Mrs. Glick.
Bart Simpson's Comic 100, Clip 3, Interlude, Heaven Can Eat My Shorts, in which we have a single picture, yes, which contains 4 of our favourite dead Simpsonians, both of Ned's wives, Krusty's dad, and BGM.
Precisely. I feel like, again, not check. This is clearly like very like recent. Like Edna's dead, so this is like 5 years. This is probably our most recent Bongo.
Probably from this week.
Yeah, probably last week it came out. That's what you've just said. Maybe it's from last week. Maude
could be as recent as a week ago.
Yeah, it could have even come out last week. This Maude is probably
this Maude,
as we've just established, this is our most recent Maude.
MRM.
This is the kind of shit that I would draw, I think. Like, it just looks like all of our lost characters in heaven.
I bet that felt good, says Marge. Ka-ching,
yes,
Marge. To Ned. Ka-ching, Edna.
I think it's their way of doing an Edna's dead story without doing it in the show. I think that's what this is. I think it's sort of about the Bart dealing with Edna being dead, and this is, I don't know what she's done, but she's done something to, like, get one over on Bart.
Revenge.
Which is why Maude is like, Maude never had that chance in life, so that's why she
does come back and scare the bejesus out of him.
She does, actually. T-shirt kind of. That's a great Bongo Maude as well.
It's not very bad. Defined. It's very defined. It's very Bongo, isn't it?
It's New Simpsons Bongo in that it's sort of like it's the Simpsons without the charm, but you can't say that it's not good.
It's digital, right? You can see that the thickness of the lines are like definitely, cheap ass digital drawing pad.
Yes, that CAD P. I like that Rabbi Kristofsky made it, which is nice. He doesn't get a lot of, and that could be just because he died at a similar time to Edna in the show. So it's
and Bloody Guns Murphy died at the same time as Maude, remember?
Yes, the same day last week. No Grimy. That's the only one, but he would take away from the sort of peacefulness. Those 4 characters are quite peaceful. Edna's becoming angel, so she's now at peace. So, but I like that one. I think
you can say that again. I've been wanting to do that for what seems like an eternity.
Yes, I will let you know what it's about.
Well, we'll come to it eventually, won't we? In Bart Simpson's Comic 100.
Yeah, once we've done the 200 plus Bongo comics, we'll eventually get and the 25 Trace of Horrors.
I can wait.
Then we'll move on to Bart Simpson comics, and eventually we'll get up to number 100.
I can wait.
But we will have robot bodies by then.
So now we're in a similar kind of environment, but instead of the peaceful situation, we've gone back a little bit. You can tell this is still pencil drawn Bongo, and now you got the same getup, but instead of Kristofsky, you've got Grimy, and instead of Nedna, you've got James Brown grinning from another cloud.
Is that who it's supposed to be?
I guess so.
It kind of, yeah, I can see that. I couldn't work out. I thought it was Prince, but just because of the purple.
He only died a few years ago, didn't he? I mean, obviously, this is from last week.
That is true.
Simpsons Illustrated number 3, The Agony and the Ectoplasm. Classic. Maude, with her wings, has a broken, tiny little harp, and Gil is being thrown off a cloud. And stay out. That harp wax you sold me melted it. None of this makes any sense, but Grimy's kicking his suitcase, Gil's suitcase off, and Bleeding Gums Murphy, emotionless, is throwing that man to his life.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it works well as a two-hander from the Edna one. I think it's a different view of.
Quite literally.
It is a two-hander and a grimy foot. I like that Maude is not participating in the violence, but she is the one who has something to say to Gil here.
She's
She is shouting at him out.
orchestrating it, really, isn't she?
Yeah, I think the comic is about Gil. Gil dies and goes to heaven, and just it's not his time. I think something along those lines, and then obviously
Right.
starts. But I don't understand how it's up to these three. That places a lot of power on Maud Flanders if these three get to actually physically remove people from heaven if they choose to. But maybe
Maybe
they're just
everyone does.
acting, maybe, or maybe they're acting upon the Holy Spirit's word or whatever. HSW.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that currency still exists in heaven and that Gil managed to talk Maud into buying harp wax.
Maybe
Because Gil
sold
is not
is
a good salesman.
maybe sold is kind of they're using that term loosely. Maybe they used angel dollars, but whatever it is, she couldn't just get another harp. Even in heaven, she couldn't just say, "Oh, this is broken now." This man used heaven dollars to get me some wax, and now the effing harp's all broken and melted, and I can't even get another one because the harp shop's closed.
Exactly. It's an
Because the
unusual
harp
circle.
angel is on holiday.
Where'd you go on holiday in heaven? Is that when you go back to Earth as a ghost? That would
No,
be a good. Well, it is now for a diary entry.
but to beach heaven.
Oh yes, dog heaven. Yeah. It's sort of like a weird full circle, difficult to explain situation. Every time you see Maud in heaven, it's sort of the more you see Maud in heaven, the less heavenly it is. So the less of a good time she is having because they have to include some kind of story. Because otherwise
Yes.
it would just be Maud having a nice time in heaven. So every time we get to see her post death in heaven, it is actually more bad for her. She isn't just getting to enjoy her afterlife. She's involved in like this. Like she's
Involved in a
supposed to be
panda
dead.
smuggling scheme.
Yeah, she's dead. She's at peace, and yet still Gil is managing to rip her off. So
I don't buy it.
I'm on board though. Anything you, and this also implies that if you die, you stay in those clothes for eternity.
Oof. Did they
Um,
get smelly?
Probably not. Depends how much harp wax they rub on themselves.
You don't breathe, right? So therefore you don't sweat.
I assume, yeah. I don't know if you're on a different physical. Maybe you don't have organs anymore.
You can't possibly have organs.
I like this trio. This trio we haven't actually utilized or used anywhere near as much as I thought when we started doing the Maudcast. I assume Maud's best friends would be Bleeding Gums Murphy and Frank Grimes in heaven, whereas it ended up being like Ruth Powers and Chalmers.
Robert Hope.
Exactly. Back in Bongo. Where were we up to?
Robert Hope.
Wee woo. Oh yeah, that was our last play. It's nice for us. We're still getting mods, so I can't complain too much.
I can't complain at all with the quality of with these mods, Ambassador.
Well drawn.
Well drawn. Next clip. Treehouse of Horror 2, The Exorcista. Lisa becomes possessed. We merely get two panels counting from this Halloween special. At one, Maude is simply sitting at a table enjoying a glass of green slop. Maude Flanders, Marge Flanders, ka-ching. Marge Simpson says, "One at a time, kids, there's plenty of lemonade for everyone," she says in that horrible scratchy voice.
Bongo.
What? Says Barnard. I stood in line all this time for lemonade. Maud's just ducky. She's looking on at this scene of this well-meaning lady who's gone out of her way to make some lemonade and this drunkard who's complaining that it doesn't have alcohol in it.
Exactly. Nice.
Some judgment coming down hard from Maude at this point.
She doesn't look like she's judging anybody with her face, but maybe she's just enjoying the lemonade. She does like homemade lemonade.
She does, but I've got a feeling that maybe that lemonade has a little bit of something in there. You can just see it in her eyes and in her face that maybe she's on the night boat to Boozeville.
I think the entire panel is about the fact that there isn't anything else in there.
No, it's the art. He believes there is not, but what she's going to do is Marge, she's going to give him a big glass full of lemonade. She'll wink, and she knows full well that she's been dousing up all the people in the town on her homemade hard bathtub hooch lemonade. And this person, more than anyone, she's suffering. Like, by God, she's gonna have a hangover in the morning.
She's suffering internally, but on the outside, she's all smiles. It could
Infernally.
almost not be Maude in the no makeup, no eyeliner, no eyeshadow.
Well, why don't we
and
talk about that?
a
We got to
different
panel
fruit.
2. Even less of a case for it being Maude. But yeah, what I do like is yet another Maude costume.
Yeah.
That's
Add it to the
2
list.
this week.
That makes 5 in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, and that for me, it's why I keep coming back week after week.
And me.
Well, let's talk about the second panel where the story's now moved on way past the lemonade issue. And we've got a very bored looking Timothy Hudson, the priest, behind his pulpit. And he's saying, now before this meeting, he sounds a bit like the Spinal Tap. Okay. Now before this meeting of the FFTT gets officially underway, we're going to have a special announcement to be read by a very special guest. He's got a suspicious looking box here. The FFTT's symbol is a television being hit by a lightning bolt, which gives me some ideas that this is families forgetting teletime.
I thought families F terrible television.
Exactly. But if we look down here, what we're interested in, we got Ned all in blue, as Bongo likes to do, with a very weak Bongo mod, and dare I say it, a classic back of the head Nedna.
Yeah. How on you Anna Cass friend Willie.
And Cass friend Willie, and just a hint what could be called.
Oh, I thought that might was Skinner.
Just a hint.
I also don't know where Lovejoy is here, because he's not in the church or the school.
He's in the town hall, isn't he?
Maybe. It's just poorly designed. Look at that green wall.
It's a Bongo.
It is a poorly designed Maude. I feel like I've put that out of a bigger picture, though, where you probably do see rows of people, so they all sort of look shoddy.
Not acceptable.
No, it's very Thatcher face, Thatcher nose.
What's wrong with it?
Eye bends inward.
Concave eyes. I just think it's not bouffant enough, that hair. The mouth's not ducky enough. The nose is not pointy enough. Everything's wrong.
It's a thick neck for Maude as well, that.
Oh, and I think this might be our friend Maurice Van Houten.
Oh, yes. I like the sitting position that Maude has there, though. It's very sweet.
It
she
is.
has her arm folded and her leg folded, and she's listening intently and happily. Yeah, she doesn't come back. Lisa gets possessed by Madonna or something. I kind of remember this one.
Right.
So,
okay.
That's where Marge, Ned's wife, draws the line.
Draws a line. This is not a woman who's the lines. It's about to be drawn if it's not already been drawn from that pose. She
stood up. She heard, oh, they're doing a Lisa Exorcist parody, but the demon is Madonna. She just stood up and said,
I want in on this.
I'm going to go and sit at home with my arms and legs folded. I'll see you in the next Bongo.
I'll see you all in the next Bongo.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why this one has taken this long to get to.
Well, it was worth the wait. A very poor blue Maude Bongo. I do, and I've said this many times, but I do love the Bongo's shadows where they put everyone in a single color.
Yeah, for a comic that's based on a TV show with its own specific style, I like that Bongo has its own styles in itself, like the blue shadows and stuff.
Yeah.
And they do this thing where if somebody's speaking, they put it in like a text bubble. So you know what they're saying.
And also, lots of them are very cold, and so, but in all of these pictures, no one's cold.
No, it's been a warm week for the Bongo.
It's been a very warm week, VWW. But I think here we go. The very last one that we're going to come to today is called Treehouse of Horror 20, The Walking Ned. It's a zombie story, as if you couldn't work that out from that. A high level punnage. So this is, I imagine, the end of that journey, and in very much flipped from our Apocaverse, where Maude was the one who became president of the United States. Ned and his new wife, Hans Moleman, and his new mistress, Maude Penisher, and his 2 surviving girl children of hers, walking
a long road that has no zombies on, and I got a couple of angels watching over me, and you got Maude and her horrifically scarred, whatever her name is, the second wife, and they're looking down. They're
Third
looking down at Ned from heaven in cloud form, which is basically, don't forget, just water, like shaped by Jesus. And so they're looking down intently just at Ned, but we don't know what they feel about the fact he's quickly remarried.
Yes, on to wife number 4. Edna's sort of Edna's looking at Ned and Skem a little bit, but no, I like this one. It's cute. I like that it's a wiggly cloud mod. That's something that we've never seen before.
Forever. Never in our whole life.
I've never read this one, so I don't know what it is, but Ned, this is the last panel, so obviously everything's gone well, and they are onwards to a new life. I like that it's been like a zombie apocalypse, but both of his wives were already dead.
Well, that's good because that spurred us having to see a zombie Maud Flanders.
Which we have already seen.
Could you ever imagine such a thing?
Yes, maybe in Bongo too. Yeah, that one. I like the image. It's interesting that Maude and Edna just eventually stopped hearing that they were both Ned's wife. Like, there's no sort of none of that in heaven.
No,
they're both just mates.
In heaven, everyone's someone's ex-wife.
Exactly. Is that Luan Van Houten as well popping on the end of the panel, or is it just like a bag?
Yeah.
Slightly up.
Yeah.
Is that the hair of Luan?
I'd like to think so. This is Molman, though, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize it was a person.
Oh, he's not.
I can see that could be Molman. I'm gonna read this comic, not now.
Not now, but in 100 weeks' time.
Yeah,
that's good. A split second. Really no, but this is where they've taken, I guess, just to fill a couple of pages, they've taken out just 1 second. Did they do a lot of this? Did they go through the entire thing second by second?
No,
over the course of like 25 episodes, 25 issues.
No, this sort of plays well. Like this, it must be pre or around this time of. I don't think you get hold of the Simpsons unless you taped it yourself. But it's unlikely that this had been seen a lot by fans, including me. It's just sort of a way to show people that it's in there.
So what have they done here? They've taken
it's from the credits.
Yeah. The story behind the scene. As Otto was driving a busload of kids from school, he caught sight of Pater and Selmy sunbathing, the astounding vision, etc., etc. Swerved elsewhere, the Flanders idyllic lifestyle continues uninterrupted. Oh, such bittersweet irony. ...
for now.
Yes.
Yeah, I like this. It's a nice way to show free DVD or internet screenshots.
Are we seeing something here that we've never seen revealed before?
You just can't. It's pre-pausing.
Are we seeing a Millhouse that's maybe suggesting that Kurt wasn't his father?
Look, blue-haired lawyery. He could be a part of the family for all we know. If this was the Luan cast, he'd probably be her brother.
These two characters we haven't seen before.
One of them's Yellow Weasel. He travelled with us for a season. Personally, Trash
twin.
Yes. It's also been
second Madonna reference of the evening.
Yes. I feel like there's a lot more characters in the actual picture. They sort of edited what they wanted to take from it, and Maude made the list. Rod didn't.
Is Rod even in the regular one?
No, there's something weird, and also Ned, as far as I can tell, is not in the new version.
Right.
Maybe
they just got tired when they got to Ned.
Yes, Blunder. Ned Blunder.
Somebody, etc. But
it's a bright, shining Maude, though.
Oh yeah, and this is like exactly what happens in the opening credits, right? She's like catching those bluebirds.
Yeah, she's like being at peace with the world and nature, which is sort of against her character that we've discussed, but that is a good surface evaluation of her.
Exactly. That's the kind of thing that Bongo would love. They'd lap it up. Look at her. She's exactly how we imagined her living, loving life until it was so tragically cut short at that sporting event.
If it was my comic, Maude would have been possessed by the spirit of Madonna. However, if it was my
what an
comic,
effing surprise!
Maude would be the central character of every issue.
If it was my comic, every single episode, an issue would have every panel with Maude in it.
Exactly, Flanders.
Ding dong.
Oh, there's someone at the door.
There is someone at the door. Who can it be? You know what? We didn't give Paul the Cinnamon a job, but I guess we can just leave him in that room, can't we?
You can just tidy the room he's in. It's like a labyrinth. It'll take a while.
Okay. Oh,
Can we
well,
help you?
Bill, there's some visitors here. Welcome to Maude Flanders Internet Museum and Database. We're so glad that you're here to experience the fascinating history of our town.
Yes, and today we have a special guest with us. Please welcome Pilot Crow.
Pilot Crow. A man dressed in all black with a crow's head mask walking backwards into the museum. Caw, I'm Toilet Crow, protector of public restrooms. Yes, welcome Toilet Crow. We're excited to have you here today.
So what brings you to our museum today, Toilet Crow?
Caw, I heard there was an exhibition on the history of plumbing and caw, I simply had to see it for myself. Caw, as a guardian of public restrooms, it's important to know the history of our craft. Is it okay if I muck around with your toilets?
Is there an exhibition about plumbing going on today?
No, there's just our regular toilets, but that seems to be enough to entertain Toilet Crow.
Oh, look at these look at these masterpieces of plumbing. Come in, everyone. Caw, so efficient, so elegant.
Yes, Toilet Crow, we're glad you appreciate the exhibit.
It's good you weren't here last week after Isabella Rossellini went. Yes, Toilet Crow. Oh, you said that. But what exactly do you do as a protector of public restrooms, Toilet Crow?
Caw. I ensure that they are sacred spaces, always clean and free of vandalism. Caw, and I'm not even going to get into debate over whether certain people should use certain toilets. Caw, that's none of my business at all. Caw, don't get me started. Caw. But if anyone tries to misuse a toilet, they'll have to answer to me. And just to be clear, I think that everyone should be able to use any toilet they want. Caw.
Could you expand on misuse, Toilet Crow?
Well, I mean, obviously, there's the people that accidentally misuse, such as small boys who just wee up the wall by accident. But then there's disgruntled employees who smear feces all over the edge of the toilet and over the walls. And not that I'd ever do this, or actually I suggest anyone does it, but write message in their own excrement about the workers and the bosses. I won't stand for that for a second. Or people who jam sticks into the toilet system, so the top of the box comes off, and the ball cock doesn't go into the properly into the thing, and so the water just keeps running. It just goes all over the walls, and shitty and pissy water just all over everyone's feet. That's not good for anyone.
That's all of those things are just done by Stamp, and I think he does them as like terms of endearment. But you can.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yourself.
That's a wonderful idea. I would be honoured to contribute to such an exhibit.
Well, would you like to do a job protecting our public restrooms?
I would.
Good. Get on with it then. Clean that shit up. Clean up Stamp shit.
I'd love it. My pleasure. Let me just get my knife and fork out. Hee.
No, none of that.
Right, enough of that. Is there any room for art?
There certainly is.
But first, let's catch up on Xenakis and Derrida. How's Jacques over there in the corner?
He's just crying. Stop crying.
We can swat. He can swat.
Nice. He's a good lad, isn't he?
He started crawling, but he just
crawling.
Yeah, he crawls towards the
abyss.
Yes, the brink of insanity.
But what about if we look through this little portal, this little magnifying glass that we brought back with us from the wee Principality? What can you see, Zaz?
It is. There's rivers. I can see rivers. Ian's music's playing, and it seems to be cleansing the land of the dark influence that had plagued it. Rivers that were once polluted are now running crystal clear, and the wildlife has returned in droves. Birds are singing melodious in Xenakis music, and animals are roaming freely in the newly restored Sunderland paradise that he's created. The wee Principality was and is slowly but steadily returning to its former glory, thank you to Xenakis. And yes,
Hooray! He's doing a great job over there, isn't he, Ian?
Derrida learned the word existential.
Clever lad. Clever little crawler. Any art?
Oh yeah, still forgot.
So we've only got one more back in Bongo to do.
Yeah, this we basically wrapped up everything. I think there's still, I haven't just left the absolute dregs for last, I don't believe, but we will find that out in a season's time, and then who knows after that. But we have almost compiled all of Maude's Bongo
Brilliant.
appearances.
Be great to wrap that up. Move on. Draw a line under it.
Yeah.
What about Snaggy? The comic of the Wasteland Wonder Dog. And it looks like in this particular issue of Snaggy, he's running through a world full of weirdly shapen half skeleton monster creatures. But he won't let that stop him.
Well, that's how we met Snaggy, isn't it? Snaggy came to us when we returned to like present day.
Oh
And
yeah.
the apocalypse was underway. So I think this is probably just recounting what led Snaggy to us. I imagine this is more of a one-off than an actual series, as Snaggy is still. Snaggy's a very good dog. He just sits in the corner quietly and sells tickets online for us.
But one of the things is we never really knew much about like the time in between, the zombie apocalypse starting and him finding us. So maybe this is an exploration of that, like rich time. Maybe he went through some Littlest Hobo style zombie ideas.
Yes, he definitely had an adventure in which he was always that level of happy and enthusiastic, not aware of the clear impending doom. However, a lot of zombies don't care for dogs. So maybe he was just safe in this world where the humans were not.
Maybe. There's a voice keeps on calling me down the road. That's where the zombies be. And every step I take, I make a new friend. I just turn around, can't stay for long, 'cause the zombies are here again. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to settle down. But until tomorrow, all the zombies are here. Maybe tomorrow I'll want to snag you down. But with all these bloody zombies, that's not a very good idea.
Yeah.
And what about the next comic? Envelope. Oh, now, if I remember rightly, Envelope is the assistant of Ergen, the Star Child, and he's now at the end of space time. He's his herald, which means he's going out to planets to find planets that Ergen can muck around on.
Yeah, I feel like Envelope female began as stamp assistant, which would make more sense given the name, and then over time became Ergen's child.
Oh yeah. Adventures at the Ghost Office, though. So this is kind of like seems to suggest that the Ghost Office is on fire, and she's smoking a big cigar, wearing database glasses, with a Millhouse Mama hairstyle and a Bongo mode red dress. So it's all it's all very Savile.
It is, isn't it?
Now then. I did nothing wrong. Steve Coogan.
Don't tell it on the mountain.
Don't tell it on the mountain. Don't tell it on the BBC. Wink, wink. Adventures at the Ghost Office is this. None of it makes sense. You're going to have to pick this one apart from his ass.
This is probably one of the wackier ones. I think this is probably happening now while she's off doing Ergen's heralding, and she just stops off on like a Rick and Morty style. Oh, this week, Futurama. Like, we're going to this planet this week. And this time she's burned down a post office. And he's the comic is referring to that as an adventure, not arson.
Simply a 2-page strip. Page 1, she arrives on the planet. Page 2, she burns down the post office.
Page 2 is just her leaving a fiery post office. No context.
Now we go to the final comic of the week, which is 124. I imagine a prequel from 124 Girl who's rolling her single eye rolling thunder. And she's in the auditorium, ready to go into the auditorium as a young girl, probably ready to roll her eyes at a young embryonic Susan Boyle.
Exactly. I like the idea that
just as embryo of Susan Boyle, suspended in a tank of Umberto liquid.
A tank of dreams. Yeah, that's exactly what happens in this comic. It's doing it for you now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea that she's sort of immortal. 124 girl has always been in the audience since the days of the Colosseum. How does it? Oh, I was going to say you described it, but that's good. Yeah, she's always been there, so I imagine this is just probably a time like when Jonah at the end of that Jonah comic went through time and altered things, kind of like that but slower, and it's just 124 girl that that things that like famous audiences, like when Lincoln got shot, or like the first Olympics, or like the crucifixion, and she's just there rolling her eyes like. I don't believe him. I don't think he forgives any of us.
I don't think those are real nails.
Yes, you can see the strings. That's what I
Anyway,
think that one is.
anyway, what about that diary entry? You got one of them?
Yes, I forgot that was a part of the show.
Oh, good Lord.
That's horrible. Bear with me.
Put it down for Christmas. Put it down for midterms. Back in Bongo. Back in Bongo. Back in Bongo. Back in Bongo.
Dear diary,
Back in Bangkok.
here we are in heaven, me and my best friends, Bleeding Gums Murphy and Frank Grimes. And it looks like Gil's died. Remember Gil? Like the sort of loser that replaced Lionel Hutz when Phil Cartman died. He's here now, and he just looks miserable, which is sort of the opposite of everything I stand for and all of us stand for up here, even Grimy. Even Grimy's like kind of tolerable now. He writes good books about nuclear safety, which we don't actually need up here because nothing needs power. But the power is belief. But then he sold me some wax. Gil, not Grimy. Grimy's a great guy. Gil sold me some wax harp wax to wax my harp, and so I went home and waxed my harp. Wink, wink, and then it melted. It just melted in my hands, and so I've rallied. I've gone to God and said, look, I'll tolerate a lot of things. There's a lot of people up here who I disagree with the choices you've made. However, this is where I draw my Maude. I want him out, and God was busy dealing with his son. She was like, I don't give a shit, Maude, do what you want. So I did. So I got together with Murphy, Mr. Bleeding Gums Murphy, and Mr. Frank Grimes, and I said, we should kick him out of heaven. Is that something we can even physically do? And they were just like, well, should we just try it? Like, yeah, go on then. So the saxophone guy pushed him and Grimy kicks his shit, and I just said something sassy, and it worked. We banished him from heaven, but we thought he was going to go to hell, and he just went back to earth. So that was a sort of an anticlimactic for me. But you pick your battles, don't you, diary? Also, I appeared as a cloud today in a zombie apocalypse, just because I thought it would be nice for Ned to see my cloud face. Also, I'm Bongo mode, so I don't actually mind Helen that much. But Luann's a bit.
Bye.
Ever, this episode has been nothing but a roller coaster of surprises.
Shot after shot.
shot after shot. But that's all good. It's all good fun.
Another brick in the Bongo wall completed. Only one brick to go.
Only a single brick to go. A single brick of a Bongo. Sing a single brick. A single brick. A single brick of Bongo. I don't think you heard me. I said brick. Single brick. Single brick. A single brick of Bongo.
You good?
Yes, I am good. Good to you tonight.
Aye. Oh yeah, sponsor Onion. We're not holding up our end of the bargain here.
Well, yeah, anything about him, but you don't force it. Feel it. If Onion's off there in North Dakota, just Wisconsin, and he's running his mouth off and running his Flanders Museum, maybe we'll never hear from him again. That's okay.
I signed a contract and I would mention him every week, didn't I? And gave him $200,000, and I'm barely holding up that end of this bargain, but that's fine.
That's fine. I don't think he'll even notice because he's probably far too happy, kind of, doing something else, right?
Maybe. Find out one day.
Find out one day, won't we?
Do it end with a song?
You betcha. You betcha. When I said I love you, you said you bet. You better, you Bongo, you bet. I was just trying to find out who we don't lay, but I can never find it. So I just have to like make someone up who we can't lay in at the end. All right, let's have a sing. Let's have a good old sing song. The Flanders family sing inspiring hymns of Hufflepuff and damnation.
Didn't sing it should. Where have you gone?
I'm gonna get you, pirate man. Have all of the sweets. Have all of the single and salted peanuts.
I bet that felt good.
Eternity smoking, watching the rabbi.
Stay out. What? You sold me, melted it.
My melted harp, the agony ectoplasm.
Did he have lemonade for everyone?
Wink, wink, lemonade, exorcister.
I've got a couple of angles watching over me.
Cloud angels, filler, filling the pages of the comic with garbage.
Philabongo.
Philabongo, Philabongo.
Someone else.
Ding dong. Oh, it's Ziggy McQuir. Oh, my name's Ziggy McQuirkington. Sorry, we're full. Slam.
The end.
The end. Embryonic boil. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, good lord.
I
Boyle,
think it's four.
Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle. Boyle in a basket. The end. Put those at the end so people can see what we're